I think this quote is common to all of us. Life is a journey, not a destination. But rarely do we ever think of its application in our lives and how it can make a difference in the ways we think. Introduction. Ralph Waldo Emerson once wrote, "Life is about the journey, not the destination." Ralph Waldo Emerson was an American lecturer, philosopher, and poet who led the mid-19th century transcendentalist movement. Emerson directed a religious, intellectual, and ethical movement that emphasized belief in the spiritual potential of every individual as the chief spokesman for transcendentalism, which is a movement of writers and philosophers connected together by an idealistic philosophy in the intrinsic unity of all creation. Instead of rushing from one destination to the next, from one project to the next, from one report to the next, and so on, we need to be reminded of this occasionally. Now, I actually resent this quote immensely and can visualize this quote in my day-to-day experiences and goals. I'm someone who runs from goalpost to goalpost with a list of things I want to accomplish and a deep attachment to the ultimate product, entirely ignoring the actual process. I realize that I chase life as a destination most of the times. I'm already considering to finish high school, to immediately pursue an undergrad degree, grad schools, and potential careers. As I reached the ending of my middle school years, as you can see here, I began thinking of my life in high school, going out, having fun. But now in high school, I am bombarded with assignments and other challenges. And now in high school, I'm also excited about finishing high school, thinking that I will be happier whilst completing my undergrad. I realize now, is there any time for me to breathe and simply flow? I'm rarely delighted or happy when I achieve these goalposts. I couldn't be content with it because as soon as I received what I wanted, I started thinking about the next thing I wanted. We live in a hustling mentality, setting objectives in all that we do, including our careers, education, relationships, and jobs. But seldom do we ever rarely sit down and truly become present with whatever we've been seeking this whole time, usually doing it just to check a box on the list. Meaning. Of course, there is an important meaning behind this expression. It includes starting to embrace the entire journey and reflect upon our actions, including arriving at our destination miserable, immediately thinking about the next. In focusing solely on the destination and disregarding the process, we lose that idea of the intrinsic value of who we are and fail to recognize that where we are now is both beautiful and acceptable, even if we're not to be where we want to be tomorrow. Where we are now is extremely valuable. As well, this isn't a concept which we just wake up to and it happens to us. It is something that we're constantly taught in school and while we are younger. That moment where we actually wake up and realize that it actually doesn't have to be that way. That one thing that we are chasing or been taught to be or have to occupy that same space for the rest of our life, we receive a different aspect to life. That of, I don't have to be X, Y, or Z, I can just be me. The reason for happiness is to find happiness within yourself, not in a goalpost or an opportunity that you are chasing. It takes a strong desire to drive us forward. We decide to aim for various actions once we have this desire. It's critical to comprehend where this desire comes from. For a long time, our ego has been the one in control, rather than our hearts. This leads us astray, causing us to arrive at our destination unsatisfied. It is important to attain the ability to step back, perceive everything as a stepping stone, and see the beauty in certain detours in our life. Although these detours may seem like we are being thrown off course, but really it's a divine orchestration of the way things are meant to be. All transitions, changes, and shifts are actually part of this longer continuous journey, that we can't just show up somewhere and remain there. There is a constant change that's happening around us all the time. Our destinations are not forward paths. They are branched off in many directions. Most of the learning comes from experiences of traveling rather than being there. Balance. There's a certain balance between the journey and the destination. Being in a flow is a delicate balancing act of being in and out of it while also learning to navigate it. As we do require structure, we cannot live a life that is fully unstructured. Scheduling and frameworks are essential and beneficial to us. It is important to formulate a flow structure that aligns with us and the destination we wish to visit, allowing the destination to alter and grow as we also move, grow, and change. Individuals can still be ambitious and have goals with vision or mood boards, but the idea comes from the detachment of those things. As in, this is something I'd like, but I'd be fine even if I didn't receive it because it's not what makes me who I am. One is limitless to set up goals, but in chasing the goal, it is necessary to enjoy the experience and learn and perceive through it. Importance. The significance of perceiving life as a journey, not a destination. I believe it is critical for younger generations like us to understand and hear, as sometimes the goal we set for ourselves isn't just about getting there and how we're going to feel when we get there, but kind of basking in the journey along the way. We act and make a difference in the world as we enjoy the journey to find who we are, instead of focusing on solely the destination. A great amount of creative imagination occurs from this as we discover new paths and endeavors for us, as we learn to enjoy the experiences within the path. We align with our true purpose. Concluding remarks. We should recognize and accept the fact that each experience we have and each person we encounter aids us in discovering ourselves and who we are as individuals. We should use those experiences to learn more about ourselves, rather than becoming attached to this one career and one area and sticking a flag like, this is who we are. We can consider our occupations and the acquaintances we make as metaphors for various types of islands. As we progress through life, we come across new islands that serve as landmarks for where we are on our path. These islands give us the opportunity to discover more about ourselves. These should be viewed as instruments in our self-discovery. In surrendering to the flow of the universe, I've learned to become friends with the journey of my life and to stop seeking it as a single destination. In a world where we are often so caught up with the destination and the goalposts, it is important to pause and flow with the experiences in our journey in order to achieve our purpose and a sustainable relationship with ourselves. The following are my resources from images and sources in APA format. And thank you, everyone.